Hello.
Oh my gosh! Happy New Year!
Oh yeah, Happy New Year. Forgot about that. That's been a thing for some time now.
Yeah, I think we're past the point of the Happy New Year wishing.
And yet,
Here we
still
are.
do it.
Here we are.
Yep.
Look at us. Here we are. Look at us.
Look at us. Look at us. Hey. Look at us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Eating the hot sauces, doing the podcast.
That's one of my favorites that still makes me laugh in the right context. Just like the kombucha girl. Those, they still make me laugh. I still enjoy
Kombucha
it.
girl. I'm not familiar with Kombucha girl.
That's that girl reacting to what she's drinking, and she's like,
Oh.
No, yeah. She was drinking kombucha.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the context. It's just so funny on its own. I don't even associate it with that, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've most commonly seen it as, girls reacting to guys that have bad habits, but, have the good dick, basically. I didn't know how to clean it up. I'm rusty. So rusty.
No. It's okay. That is not the context that I've seen it in, but
No.
we run in different circles.
Yes,
so that makes sense.
Yes. So, before we get started, do we want to continue the graphic novel challenge this year?
I don't know. I was thinking about this. And I don't know if I want to do the same challenge or if I want to do a different type of challenge. I don't know. But I'm open to ideas. I don't know. I was thinking, like, what other thing could be a weekly challenge or something along those lines that's fun. I mean, so I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think a new challenge will be good. If you want to tease it this episode, that's fine. Even if it's just like adding a certain like stipulation to the graphic novel challenge that makes it easier on us or more interesting, that's fine too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like we have to read a certain type of book, or we have a whole month to find this certain type of book, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that, like, the reading part of it was, like, killing me. Because I have so much to read already. I'm already having to break into my reading for this new semester, and it doesn't start till next week. So, yay.
Well, damn, that's just rude.
Yeah, I've got, like, 4 books for that class alone.
Man.
Yeah. Russian politics, man.
Russian politics. Man, you're going to end up on a watch list. It's going to be great.
I'm already on a watch list. There's no way I'm not on a watch list.
I mean, if
I'm not on a watch list, I've done something wrong with my life.
I was going to say, at this point, all the cool people are already on watch lists. You know? If you're doing your homework, if you're really reading between the lines, you're on a watch list because they're scared of knowledge. They're scared of people who are smart enough to ask questions. Yeah. Like, I had a buddy, who shall remain nameless, that was on a no-fly list. And it was just because he had a certain last name that was related to a dictator. And it's not like he had any, like, affection for this person, you know.
But was he related to them?
Not at all.
It feels like they could clear that up.
You
would
think
stupid.
that. You would think that, but he's still on the fucking no-fly list. Like, he has to check in at the airport every single time. Like, hey, I'm not that guy. I don't know that guy. I don't care about that guy.
Oh, but he can fly.
Yeah. It just takes some
I would assume that's like you can't fly at all. But he can fly. He just has to go through more hoops.
Yeah, exactly. So it's funny. It's not funny, but it's like fucked up. You get what I'm saying?
Right. No. I understand. That's weird.
Yeah. All right. I guess we should welcome everybody back to our rambling. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Thank you.
We back.
Thank you for waiting. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for keeping the flame alive. We are Lex and Matt's Excellent Adventure. I'm Matt Peters.
And I'm Lex Lutz. And you've only had 1 week without an episode.
That's way too long. I mean...
Oh, my God. So dramatic. You workaholic piece of... All right.
Look, dude, you're the one that was like, I miss talking to Matt on the Instagram.
I do, but like, people need to, you need to calm down, bud.
I'm cool. It's not about the work ethic. It's I miss talking to you, and I miss talking
Sure
and,
can.
you know, all that stuff. all the people and all that. Yeah, I miss it.
Part of me believes that. Part of me goes, no, Matt just loves working so much. Oh my God. Nobody loves working the way Matt loves working.
I was still working. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I know you were.
I just wasn't working with you. But yes, I was still working.
That is true.
Yeah. I had a good conversation with one of my colleagues from my voiceover class, and we got a lot of things. We shared a lot of notes, and I'm going to be doing my first demo reel very soon, within the next month or so, thanks to an engineer friend of mine. Shout out to Nikki Hush. She's going to produce the demo reel, and I can start shopping myself around, as they say.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, when I say that, it sounds odd because, it's usually related.
Don't you get like an agent though, or is it different for voiceover?
Some people are independent. Some people just shop themselves around on stuff like Fiverr, and there's like different like voiceover specific gig websites that people utilize. Yeah, there's different schools of thought about that. Now, in my class, my instructor said that, it's critical that you get an agent, that you get representation as soon as you can. You want to get, you want to become part of the guild and everything like that as soon as you can. But, things are a lot different now, and he's not just starting out. And, a lot of these things, they come about because of like grassroots efforts. So we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like, you need to get an agent. I'm just saying, I was just curious about how that works. That's cool though. Either way. Like,
I think about that girl, Ash, from Ash, What You've Been Playing. Do you remember that YouTube series? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I watched some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So she like just started there, her and her brother, and Ashley Birch, that's her name. And she got voiceover work just based on people just watching that and enjoying the tone of her voice. So
that's cool.
I think I've got enough like voice work out there at this point for anybody to just go, hey, you should voice my character. And I'll be like,
I can easily see you getting a job like that. I don't understand how people listen to our podcast with my voice. Like my half of it.
You've got a great voice too. Don't get me wrong.
My voice annoys the shit out of me. I don't know how any of you guys deal with it. I commend you all.
That's everybody. That's everybody. Now imagine, because you've heard of those like those deprivation rooms and that sort of thing, where you go in and it's just so
horrifies me. I will never do that unless for some medical reason I had to. No.
Well, let me tell you, it's very close to just being in a regular sound booth, because here I'm in my home. There's no like any no acoustic masking or anything like that out of the norm, and I just go and I edit it after the fact, and it doesn't feel like I'm alone. But when you're like in a booth, when we went to CRC Studios for a couple of weeks during the class, like it feels so much different. And that first read that I did, my nerves were just going nuts because you just hear yourself and you're the only person.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's very weird. It's very weird.
I do not fuck with that. Not a fan. No. Even just like normal house silence type of thing can freak me out. So no. I always have something going. Music, a podcast, a show. There's something in the background.
I'm the same. I've got white noise all the time. I've always got the HVAC running, and I know people say that's not a good thing, but I need that noise. I need something going on. And of course, like you said, music or podcast or TV or something.
Yeah.
So, my brain is always like, oh, what's that? What's
that noise? It was worse when I was younger because the area that I grew up in was just louder than like the suburbs area that I moved down here to. So like you'd hear sirens all the time and things like that. So when I first moved down into my dad's house, like down here, it was a huge shock to me how quiet it was.
Right.
And and then I go to my grandparents' house in southern Indiana for Christmas and stuff, and it's like completely quiet. Oof. Like dead quiet, dark as could be. There's nothing else around. You're in the woods,
I think I've mentioned it before. I had a similar experience because I basically spent many years living behind the CTA Red Line, the Sheridan L stop. in a place, mind you. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, no, I was in an apartment, but it was so close to the L tracks that I could have conversations with my friends that were waiting for their train, basically.
Right.
Like, literally, I've done that. So, yeah, I got used to that. I love the sound of the train. It's soothing to me. Like, I couldn't sleep without it for a long time. Maybe that's why I wake up at 3 a.m. every day. I don't know. But yeah, like.
That's because you're haunted. You did something. There's some reason for that, like haunting wise. You waking up at 3 a.m. every day.
It must be. Yeah. That's a whole different podcast.
You're haunted by coffee, I'm guessing.
Haunted by high caffeine. Yeah, that's exactly it. Too much coffee, man. Yeah. So, what you been doing? What's up with you?
Nothing. No, I'm getting ready to go back into school for a new semester, so that's fun. I'm prepping for that. I got some readings and stuff to do. Yeah. Get all of my things in order for that. So that's what I've been doing lately.
Neat.
Obviously, we did all the holiday stuff. I did travel. I went to Indiana for a Christmas, which is what I usually do. Like most of the time. There's been a couple of times where I haven't gone there. That's my dad's family. So that was fun.
Very cool. Very cool. I did holiday stuff as well. I know I expressed trepidation about seeing my family after such a long absence, but it was good, and they were very welcoming. I had nothing to worry about. But
yeah, you were very panicky before the holidays.
Not really panicky, just
it felt panicky.
It was reluctant. We'll say that.
Okay. Yeah.
I just I had a there's a very good reason for that. I had an encounter with my aunt at one point where she got really upset with me for not being in touch for a very long time. And this is like early in my career, my professional career, when I was just getting started at work and I really wasn't making time for anything, friends or family or anything like that. And I've got such a large family. It's like, okay, well, I gotta figure out who I'm going to devote giving time to, and not just alienating myself, So it had been a while, and it got to a point where my grandmother, she went to the hospital. She had a fall,
Right.
And so she was getting her leg rehab and everything. And I came to visit, and my aunt was there, and she was upset. Like, she was like angry at me, and I was not expecting that. And yeah, I know. I
don't like when people do stuff like that because it's
I don't either.
It goes both ways. First of all, did you call to check in to make sure I was okay, kind of thing? Like that,
That's what I had to like. That's basically where I'm at now. Like, okay, I get it. I can be a little distant sometimes. I can be, radio silent for long stretches of time. But you know what? I get in my head. I get down on myself. And I feel like sometimes maybe I'm not the priority for people. So I don't put myself in situations where I don't feel like, I'm of any value. So therefore, if I'm not around, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I like you enough to know that you don't need me. That's where my head goes.
I think that is...
Right?
This is becoming a whole separate thing of... That is a huge red flag therapy moment.
Well, we don't have to fix that right now.
I know.
I'm giving you context.
Well, first of all, I'm not trying to fix it. That's one of my things with 2020. If we're talking about resolution type of thing, I'm not trying to fix other people's shit. I'm done with that. But I'm just saying, like, that's stuff you gotta work on with someone who knows how to deal with that. But
for sure.
I don't like that. I don't like the why haven't you called type of thing. I'm like, that does nothing but make people feel guilty for no reason. Yeah,
absolutely. Especially in situations like that. So what I was getting at is I had to come to terms with the fact, like, it's not always my fault in those situations. It's not always because, I didn't do something, so I pissed you off. Yeah. It's about like, okay, we as two separate people did not stay in contact. That's no reason to feel guilty about it. So when I come back into the circle because there's an emergency or something important's going on, we're not going to deal with this bullshit right now. You're going to talk to me later, or I'm going to talk to you later, or we're going to figure this shit out and we're going to put it aside and squash it, but we're not about to take time away from the person that really needs attention. So that's
good. That's a healthy way to deal with it.
See, I told you it'd come back around. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So
I mean,
like that,
I stand by what I said. I think that is a healthy approach.
We went to the pit and we came right back out. So basically, when I'm around the family, you know, I think back to those times and I think about like, man, that kind of sucked. I don't ever want to feel like that again, you know? So my natural reaction is to just be like, well, I'm not going over there.
Yeah, I get that. I was not looking forward
to where
either.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was not looking forward to Christmas either. I was dreading all of these holidays. Which I could not talk about until like it was all done.
Yeah, you had something a little more immediate that you were going through versus
like, all of my friends knew that I was a lesbian. Like everyone and have known for years kind of thing. So that's been like for a long period of time like that. Yeah, like, well, you've known the entire time that we've been friends, correct? Yep. Right. So like 5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Is how long I was open with my friends for the most part. But not with my family at all. Because we've talked about, I have the pastor, like I have a pastor in my family who's like my brother, who I'm incredibly close to. Mm-hmm. And like a lot of my family members are very religious. Yeah. And comments have been made in the past that, not by my brother, but by other family members, more extended out. So I was like, okay, like at some point in like May or June, somewhere along that lines, I told my father very like out of the blue. And I had been like a year at least, like trying to do it. My anxiety had been terrible and it was just like so anyway, it just happened.
Yeah.
I told him and then he helped me kind of be like, all right, I gotta push you out of the nest type of thing. And, you know, I'm not going to tell anyone, but I'm going to push you to tell people as soon as you can manage kind of thing so that you don't have to live like this, because he has told me like, he's like, I see a difference in you. You're a different person now. Okay. Like your anxiety is way better. Like you are just a completely different person now. I didn't even realize that until he had told me. So then at Thanksgiving, my brother and his family came down here. So they went to Disney for a couple days. I'm not crying, by the way. That's my nose. I'm just like, my nose is stuffy, so if I sound weird breathing wise.
'Tis the season.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to emphasize I'm not like, there's no like tragedy here. Everything's fine. Everything's good, guys. So my brother came down here with his family. They went to Disney, and then they came here for Thanksgiving. So I waited until the night, Thanksgiving night. They left the Friday morning. I waited till the very end to tell them. And it was way more emotional than I was expecting. With my dad, it was like, oh, we laughed a lot, stuff like that. And I kind of did that with my brother too, but like there was like tears and like instant radical acceptance. And like my brother has texted me like, I want to text you every day, but I don't want to freak you out, but I'm so proud of you and I love you, and stuff like that. So it was very wholesome. And then, so I decided I was only going to tell like in person, my dad, my brother and his wife, and then my grandparents. Those were the only ones that I was like, okay, I need to sit down and have that conversation kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So then I decided Christmas, I'm going to go in the opposite direction because I don't want to sit with that anxiety the whole time. I'm going to tell them the night that I get in. So I did. I told them the night that I got in, and they were accepting and cool. And then some comments were made after that it led me to believe it's not going to be as easy of a transition as I hoped. But it was okay. Like, it's not a huge problem. Like, it'll be okay. It's just people accepting change or things that they didn't necessarily maybe want to be the case kind of thing. It's okay. Like, I had my cousins were freaking awesome. Everyone out, like other than those little things, like everyone was super cool and supportive. So I got to meet our friends Connor and Rachel, my cousin Rachel and her husband Connor, who we've talked about. They listen to the show. And Connor has Kicking It with Con. And then Rachel, I've never talked about it on the show, but Rachel she's like a Facebook page, and it's Rachel's Cups and Designs. So she makes these like custom tumblers, like, like Yeti type tumblers.
Yeah.
Like she does like acrylic. I don't know what I'm talking about. They're super cool. They're super cool.
I was waiting to see how far.
they're really cool. I can't explain it.
Okay.
You just have to go look it up on Facebook.
Kicking It with Con. That's his thing.
Kicking It with Con, and then hers is Rachel's Cups and Designs.
Okay.
And so they were like, they had a little baby. They had this sweet little baby Teddy, and I got to play with the baby and stuff. But they were just like super supportive and kind, and all of my other cousins, like everyone was really cool. It was nice. It's nice to not have to hide that from family members. And I did have like my great aunt, she pulled me aside and she was like, I love you. And like, I've always known, but which is the thing that everyone loves to say. They love to say that to me. And I make lots of jokes about it because I'm like, okay, clearly this is the joke of my life, which is everyone always knew. But yeah, it was interesting. I even had... I'm reluctant to talk about this because I don't discuss this situation on the podcast. And I probably won't again in the future, but it was a good thing. So I will give credit where credit's due in that type of situation. So my brother reached out to my mother and told her.
Oh, wow.
Because he didn't want her to hear from someone else, and and I was fine with that. Like, I have not spoken to my mother in years for reasons that are personal and do not, no one needs to, no one, it's like families. You don't need to know about it. No big, like, just whatever. And she extended love and support and kindness and said that she was happy for me. And she just wants me to be happy in life. And I was very shocked. Yeah. And it took me a while to process it. And it was very kind.
Like, knowing what I know about her, what you've told me and everything, like, that's the best reaction you could hope for.
It's shocking.
Honestly.
It's shocking. I texted my cousin as well. And she's like, holy shit. Like, it was very surprising.
Yeah.
Of a reaction. But even that was like, really cool. I reached out to my mentor from high school, because like I'm still friends with, my adoptive mom. Andrea is like, their ex-husband and wife. So like I didn't want him to find out, third party kind of thing. And he was like, you've always been my favorite kid kind of thing. And so it was a very freeing and emotional, holiday for me. I feel lighter. Like, not everything's perfect, not everything's fixed, of course. Like, there's still, life is still life, but I just feel like I was carrying so much and I didn't know it. I just like had the weight there, and I had learned to like walk with a hunch for so long. And now I'm just like, well, shit, I'm fine. This is fine. Like, nobody completely rejected me. Nobody and that, I'm lucky. That's not the case with a lot of people, a lot of families. People lose their entire families. There's a lot of situation. It's a really scary thing, and it can go south. So, the best advice I ever saw was, come out when you're safe. Like, don't, like, yeah, you want to come out of the closet and everyone's always like, come out. But like, if you're not safe, if you think you'd be in danger, then you do need to be careful about when, where, whatever, like that type of situation.
It's an unfortunate truth. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a 16-year-old kid, like you're going to college in 2 years and you think your parents might kick you out or something, like you might have to wait. I don't know. Like, it's all the circumstances. Like, and by the way, if we ever have any listeners who are worried about this, DM us. Like, I will
absolutely.
talk to you. Email us, direct message us on any of our platforms. I will talk to you one-on-one. Matt will also see it. And like, if you want him to chime in, he can, but like, we will not talk about anything on the show. Like you can do that safely, not worry about it.
You have your choice. You can talk to both of us. You can talk to one of us, whatever you want to do. Obviously I'm an ally. I'm not,
Oh yeah.
Gonna have all the answers or, firsthand experience. But if you just need encouragement, I'm definitely there for that.
Yeah, and we will keep that completely between us gals.
Yeah, you're safe. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a very like emotional, good, like 99% good.
Yeah,
and the 1% can get better as it goes.
Right. I just want to tell you too, like I really appreciate. It's about to get a little mushy, so just bear with me here.
We're back, bitches. 2020. What is 2020? We're gonna fucking make your eyes piss tears in 2020.
It was like 2019 was fuck it, and we said something. Our one of our ideas was 2020 fuck you. No, but we're not gonna do that.
2020, you better be crying right now.
You better watch out. I appreciate the fact that you trusted me enough to talk through a lot of this stuff with me, and that you shared it with me and you were open with me, and just, it's a lot that you were going through, and I don't discount that at all. And just knowing that getting it off your chest made you feel better, I'm so proud of you. I am.
Thank you.
It takes strength. It takes. I can't even imagine the amount of strength.
I think you've done a lot in your life to, like, people can tell that, like, you have done a lot in your life to be that person for other people. That's why I'm always like, Matt, you need to take care of yourself. Matt, you can't take on this much, because I see that person in you, like, all the time. Like, it's the curse of being such a good person.
Well, that's sweet, but this is your thing. This is your moment, and I'm not going to let you deflect.
That's true. It is my moment. Guys, 2020, it's all about Lex. I'm a little bit...
2020 is Lexcellent.
Anyway. I'm a little bit Alexis.
It's back, by the way. Schitt's Creek was back last night.
I haven't watched it yet. Don't tell me about it.
Okay, I'm not gonna dig into that. But what I will dig into is this delicious new friend that we made, which is Cinnabon.
Oh my God, what a transition.
2020 is the year of bad transitions. So, Cinnabon, how sweet is that? We made a friend, ladies and gentlemen, at Cinnabon.
What an episode for Cinnabon to tune into.
Right.
I'm like emotionally talking about, yeah, man, I came out to my entire family.
Right.
Anyway, sponsored by Cinnabon.
Right.
Cinnabon. It'll help you get through the rough days. It's so delicious and sweet. Oh,
Cinnabon has helped me get through some rough days. Let me tell you, walking around shopping malls is not fun. But when you have that delicious treat dangling at the end of a stick,
why is it on a stick?
I don't know, because they're tempting you with the sweet sweets.
I don't know what a Cinnabon is. I'm concerned.
I've never seen a Cinnabon. I don't know.
We gotta stop talking about Cinnabons. I really want a Cinnabon now.
See, that's what they've done.
2020, but it's not working.
What Twitter does, not what Twitter does, but what Cinnabon does on Twitter is they have this thing, hashtag Sweet Talk, and basically they tweet out questions and they talk to you about things and they encourage you. So They had a question that said, tell us what side hustle you have or plan to have in 2020. And of course, I had to do the shameless plug and say, oh, hey, yeah, I've got a sweet podcast you should check out. And Cinnabon was like, cool, subscribe. We're going to follow you. And they straight up did follow us on Twitter. So shout out to Cinnabon for being cool. Their social media team is cool, and for hopefully sending us some free Cinnabon because we love Cinnabon. So.
Yeah. I also like the idea of this is the sweet, wholesome episode, guys. Yes. Sponsored by Cinnabon.
How sweet it
Wholesomeness. My brother held me as I cried in his arms and said, I love Cinnabon. No.
I love Cinnabon so much. I went to visit my grandmother at the hospital and my family almost broke up. The thing that saved us? Cinnabon.
My grandmother, she was not doing well, but then we got her a Cinnabon. Now she's healed.
She's one of the Rockettes doing the high kicks. It's great.
Is your grandmother okay, though?
She's okay. Yeah, okay. That was years ago. I mean, that's the thing, too.
Okay. I missed that.
This wasn't this year. It's just that's one of those things that just sticks in your mind and in your heart.
Yes. Yeah, I understand now.
Yeah.
I just needed to do the double check of I assume it's okay. You didn't end that one, so
she
were just
did.
She
died.
She did. Oh yeah.
Oh.
That was the thing. That was the final straw for that one.
Yeah. No, but cool, coming out to your very alive family and everything, but no. My
coming out story is sponsored by Cinnabon. Cinnabon, go get it at your mall now.
Go get it at your local mall. What mall do you... I remember going to Cinnabon at the Hip, which is Harlem Irving Plaza, which is a really cool name that goes in and out of fashion, I imagine, every other year or so. The Hip.
The Hip. Sometimes it's hip and sometimes it's not.
Exactly. It's hip to be square at the Hip.
It is hip to be square. Ugh. Don't.
So anyway, now that we've got that out of the way, thanks for listening, Cinnabon. Let us know if you want us to give you a shout out every episode and we can accept
All right,
your money.
now we're going to talk about if Yoda fucks. So you might want to tune out, Cinnabon.
Let's save that to the end. Let's save that to the end.
No, we're not talking about that at all.
Okay, good.
I just wanted to make Cinnabon go, oh no.
Oh, that's what kind of show this is.
We can't actually sponsor this show. Oh,
right,
no.
Right. Not to mention
you should sponsor us, Cinnabon. We would love it.
Speaking of social media, fucking all right. So Field Museum is giving me shit on Twitter as well.
What?
Chicago's.
Is this the 2020 Burger King?
I guess so, man. Except I have more of a chance of running into this person in real life because it's, a local museum in Chicago. Okay. So I don't know who runs this account, but yeah, they're giving me the business. All right. So a couple years ago, Dee and I went to the Field Museum one Sunday afternoon, and I fell down some long fucking staircase, and I twisted my knee, and it sucked. And if you think about the scene from Pinocchio, where he's going, I got no strings, and he just wipes the fuck out down the stairs, and his nose gets stuck in the floorboard and everything, that's pretty much what it looked like. Because my joints, let me tell you, I'm an old man. And this is what added to the old manness. Oh, it was sucky for a couple weeks there. I was hobbling around. It was awful. So anyway, I can look back and laugh on it now. And so, my buddy from WBEZ, the programming director over there, for Reset, she goes, hey, we have free museum days coming up here in Chicago. Where should I go? And I jokingly said, go to Field Museum, see where I fell down the stairs. Oh yeah, also they have a great gym exhibit going on right now, And then people were just kind of one upping on there, just tagging the joke, just saying, oh yeah, they put up a plaque and everything too. But then Field Museum chimed in oh yeah, we didn't see it, winky face. Oh shit.
Why are you being a dick, Field Museum?
So now I gotta cut a museum. All right. All right. I see how it is.
My God.
So that's where we're at. That's where we're at in 2020. That's how it's going. It's going down. I gotta go drop an elbow on Sue the dinosaur. Okay?
Okay. I mean, I support this decision.
I'm glad.
Even though it's probably a bad idea.
Probably is.
Yeah.
All right. So
I saw this in the notes, and I do feel like we need to address this because this infuriated me. Gene Simmons putting ice in cereal.
This goes back to something that we mentioned on a recent episode, too. I don't know if it was the last one or the one before that, where I was talking about I had a cousin that used to put milk or ice in milk and drink that.
Yeah, that was, I think, the episode before the last one.
Yeah,
yeah, very recent.
Apparently, Gene Simmons is that cousin. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Why would you do that? Why?
It just seems so gross.
What is the point of that?
Does your milk get too hot when you eat your cereal? I don't understand. Like, is he... Okay. Is he waiting too long to eat his cereal, maybe? Is that what it is?
Which you can't do because the cereal gets soggy. So... Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not expecting Gene Simmons to make good life choices, but come the fuck on.
I also want to concentrate on the fact that he's got a suicide mix of Oreo O's and Wheat Thins. Mini Wheats.
Yes. What the fuck?
What kind of mix is that? That's nasty.
Oh, God. Everything about this picture just chipped away at my soul.
You know what that is? That's one of those, like, just weird rich guy type of things right there. You know? How they all have their little quirks and everything. And it's like, oh, you know, I only wash my car on Tuesdays because that's what I've done since college. Or I've been wearing the same shorts that I wore.
I've only ever worn these sneakers once, and then I throw them in the closet. Yeah. Thousands of them. Like,
I need green M&Ms in my dressing room. Which
do you know the reason for that, though?
Yes, I saw this season of Maisel as well.
Did they put that in? Oh, yeah, that's right. The teddy bears. Right.
Yes.
No, yes. I years ago I made a joke about that, and Ryan, our friend Ryan over at Turtle Soup, explained that to me, and I was like, oh my God, it serves an actual purpose? Like, the band knows that, like bands did that to make sure that, you know, all the audio was correct. They knew if it wasn't, like, I can't remember what band it was, but, like, if they came in and they didn't have the green M&Ms or whatever the thing was, they knew that they didn't read the rider and didn't, you know, fill all of the things that need to be done. So.
Yeah, and I believe that's the case most of the time, but sometimes that shit is so specific for, like, some of the hip hop stars where it's like, I need 3 cases of Heineken. I need, you know, a whole Hickory Farms sampler box.
I'm sorry. Are we not going to have writers like this when we're doing live shows? Because we sure as shit are.
Look, last time we did a live show, we had boxed water.
Ice cold Waterloo, gummy bears, and I don't know, whatever other random shit I come up with. Like,
you know what?
I will throw a toddler temper tantrum.
I'm in a giving mood. Let's give a shout out to Waterloo as well. Waterloo got that strength.
Yeah, I'm rocking the grape right now alongside my tea, my Earl Grey.
So you told us about the Waterloo several months ago. You said, it should be in your local Target. My local Target finally started carrying it, and I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot and see how it is. Can't be any different than Bubbly or LaCroix. Completely different. So different. It's got such carbonation, y'all. I don't know what it is that they do to this Waterloo, but
high carbonation, high flavor, delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. It will sneak up on you. It doesn't taste like it should just be a water seltzer type beverage. No, it's got that strumph.
Yeah, I consistently drink grape, lime, black cherry.
Yeah, we've been messing with the black cherry. Yeah, we've been doing black cherry. It's pretty good. they were out of lime. Like, usually that's my baseline. I'll try lime first and then go from there. But yeah, they didn't have the lime.
Lime is the easiest one, I think, for all of these companies to pull off, but Waterloo is still my favorite. So
I always have a soft spot in my heart for lime, you know, especially with, you know, our dearly departed lime Skittles, of course.
Still angry. I'm not going to talk about it.
Pour out a little lime for lime Skittles.
Yeah. Still holding on to that grudge.
I tweeted them too. They gave me the business because they just liked my tweet and didn't respond to it.
Fuck you, Skittles.
Fuck you, Skittles. Thank you, Cinnabon. Fuck you, Skittles.
I'm gay as shit, and I don't even like your rainbow. Fuck you, Skittles.
I mean, I like rainbows, but, you know, I don't like Skittles anymore. I'm disappointed in my Skittles.
Apple, artificial apple, everything is just the worst.
It tastes like cologne to me. I don't know what it is. It's just too strong.
I don't know how to describe it other than it's awful. Like, maybe that's it. I don't know. It's just
awful.
It's like black licorice.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this to me? Why? So
something that I wanted to ask you about that I wasn't sure if you'd heard about before was a little series called IKEA Heights.
No. It's a series?
Yeah, it's like a web series.
No, I've never heard of this. I thought this was some IKEA-related story.
No, this was done without any type of agreement from IKEA whatsoever.
Many cease and desist letters.
many cease and desist letters. So basically, this team got together. I believe it was part of Channel 101, which was Dan Harmon's like little internet channel. Yeah, it was a creation of Dan Harmon and Rob Schraub. But this series was created by Dave Seeger and some other folks, and it was a soap opera that was completely filmed in IKEA without IKEA's knowledge.
That is... I can't process that. That's amazing. What?
You gotta see it. It stars Randall Park before he was like, you know, a name.
Wow.
Before Fresh Off the Boat and everything.
What year was this then? Like
this was
2010, something like that?
Yeah, it was like 2009, 2010. It had like 7 episodes, and yeah, it was pretty good for what it was, you know.
Oh, I love things like that. That's so good.
Yeah, so they just, it's funny because I remember specifically there's one episode where the guy walks in on his wife cheating on him, and the guy, basically he's in like a little fake home office thing, and, you know, he calls his boss, is like, okay, I'm gonna have to leave early today, but, you know, I'll come in extra early tomorrow. So he leaves, and he just walks out, and the camera follows him all the way from the fake office to his little bedroom set. Just one solid shot. He's like, oh my God, honey, who is this?
That's the kind of, oh God, I love like innovative indie stuff like that. So yeah, that's right up my alley. I'm definitely going to have to look into that. That's interesting. How'd you hear about it?
I'd heard about it a long time ago and I forgot, but it popped up in some article about Randall Park that I was checking out, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta finally check this out, and it's so funny. So of course we'll drop a link to it in the on the Facebook page and all over, so you guys can see it too. IKEA Heights.
IKEA Heights. Okay, so transition again. I want to talk about this Lori Loughlin story.
Yes, let's talk about Lori Loughlin.
Because 2020 is fucking ridiculous already. What a year. So Lori Loughlin is still facing all of these, her sentencing, I think, or whatever, for that college scandal.
Yeah.
She faces up to 45 years in jail. Apparently, she has hired a prison coach. Now, we know she's not going to get that many years, but she's going to have to go to prison for some amount of time.
What an interesting time. What an interesting time we live in where it's like, a prison coach.
prison coach to teach her everything from first of all, I think this person is completely scamming her, and I'm fine with it. This is just some random dude that's like, yeah, I've been to prison.
Right. No, she met a black man, and she's like, oh, sir, could you help me? I'm going to be going to prison.
I'm going to be going to prison soon. Can you help me? And he looks around, and he's like, I don't know who this white bitch is, but I'm going to take advantage of it.
Right. Like, you know what? You pay me $500 a week. I will come in and I will teach you how to survive in prison.
Yeah. All right. This is like a tray. Yeah. Just start whacking it in the air. Just do that. Is this right? Is my form right? Yeah, sure. You got it.
He just starts like telling her situations that he's seen on Orange is the New Black, and just like, okay, so never trust anybody named Badigan,
Right. If you see someone named Pookie, run away. Run away. No eye contact. Eye contact. Yeah.
Right.
So apparently this coach is teaching her everything from jailhouse etiquette to martial arts. So help her learn the ropes.
That's a wide swath.
Yeah. And I like what it says. This is from a source telling people, Lori is a planner, and she's doing what she needs to do for all of the contingencies. I like that she's like, yeah, I am going to plan my prison sentence like a mom putting all of the soccer meetups on a calendar. Like, what are you thinking is going? Oh, God.
It reminds me everything.
Martial arts. She's learning I mean, what the fuck?
It reminds me everything of Christina Hendricks' character on Good Girls, because like you mentioned the planner, she straight up had that calendar that she would put up on the wall to keep up with the kids' soccer games and everything. And
the thing that baffles me about Lori Loughlin is like the arrogance of she didn't take that deal. Like Felicity Huffman paid $15,000, and like that's basically it. Like, and then 14 days in prison is what she served. It says in the article for this guilty plea. Why would you risk all of that time, even if she ends up getting just a year? Like, that's insane.
She got some bad advice, and
I think opposite. I think that she got good advice from a lawyer and completely ignored it because she's arrogant as fuck.
Okay.
That's my theory. I think when people do things like that, when they plead, they're being smart and listening to the lawyer. I think when they don't, it's not a lawyer bad advice situation. It's them ignoring the lawyer, because these lawyers always want you to take a deal.
Right.
That's what they advise. Because
usually,
it's not a good idea. They do it even when it's not a good idea for you to plead.
Except, I mean, I would normally agree with you.
Yeah.
4 years ago, I would have agreed with you, but we live in a post-Trump world now where we've seen how crazy lawyers can be.
Yeah.
And we see how people will deny until their dying breath and try to gaslight you, It's like all bets are off right now for rich people.
Yeah, no, it's true. All bets are off for rich people. Yeah. I mean, there's always a chance that she could get a pardon, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course not.
She's a beloved
anymore.
She's a beloved TV icon, Yeah. She's never done filthy stand up like Bob Saget, so she's the good girl. She's fine. She'll be. Yeah,
I'm sure Trump will be like, yeah, here's a pardon, whatever.
She's gonna suddenly be friends with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, and they're gonna, talk to their buddy and get her out.
Yeah, that's what she's been fighting for all this time. The long con. Got to get my gal out of prison.
Gotta get your gal out.
Get her out. I'm just fascinated by this, and I do love the idea. Even though I have zero proof of this, I am going with the theory that the person who's training her knows nothing about prison, has never been to prison, is just completely conning her. Because I want
to meet this person. I want to interview with them. I want to tell all with them.
We want to buy you a beer.
We invite you onto the podcast to talk about your training regimen for Lori Loughlin.
If you could do that, like legally, come on over.
Yeah, never hurts to ask.
Yeah, whoever is teaching Lori Loughlin how to fight, we want to interview you. We don't usually do interviews, but we will make exceptions here.
That's right. We want to hear all about
how bony her elbows are. She looks like a woman that has really bony elbows.
Oh man, tell us all about Lori Loughlin. We want to know. We want to know the answers. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we took some time. We took some time away. You know, we took some time to chill.
I needed it. It was good. Now
it was good.
We're back.
It was good. I got a chance to play some video games. Over our break or whatever.
Oh.
Talk about that for a little bit. So I want to touch on two things very specifically. One, I was surprised. So this Yacht Club Games put out, of course, the much celebrated and highly reviewed Shovel Knight back in 2016.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've never played it, but yeah.
Yeah, if you like, run and jump sort of games, hop and bop, that sort of thing. Yeah, you'll like Shovel Knight. It's like an old school NES game, except it's got sensibilities, current day sensibilities, that sort of thing. It's not as unforgiving as a Mega Man, but it does have a similar vibe. The only thing is, instead of using a gun or a sword, your guy is using a shovel. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. So what I didn't know, because I wasn't involved in the original Kickstarter for this game, Yacht Club Games has been developing content for Shovel Knight since it was released. Even, of course, before it was released. But yeah, since it's been released, they've never stopped.
Really?
So they've been putting out DLC, free DLC.
Wow.
For everybody.
That sounded condescending. I'm legitimately shocked. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was legitimate. I'm not being I'm just that was genuine amazement. I did not sound like a dick.
Thank you for clarifying, because it really did, it could have gone either way.
I have no clue why my body decided to emit that particular reaction that way, but I am genuinely shocked and applaud them for that. That's really freaking cool.
So the games are top notch. We're used to just accepting glitches and stuff like that, or bad gameplay mechanics, and these have always been like the tightest gaming experiences I've had. Just period. Not even just this generation.
What platform were you playing it on?
I was playing it on PS4, and so back in 2016, I was playing Shovel Knight nonstop. I loved it, the base game itself. I basically got platinum on it, and I just was like, okay, I've done everything I need to do. I'm going to chill, and I'm going to wait until the DLC comes out. I forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I saw them advertising this new version that had everything included. It had all the DLC. It had some extra stuff that they hadn't even advertised, versus mode, all kind of crazy stuff. And it was called Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. And I'm like, okay, I love what Yacht Club Games has been doing. I'm going to go ahead and buy that on the PlayStation Store.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't know, and something that's cool that they did, is that I booted up my copy of Shovel Knight, my downloadable, my digital copy of Shovel Knight, whatever. And it had an update. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Maybe they just fine-tuned some things. No, it was the Treasure Trove edition. They just gave everybody that bought it the Treasure Trove edition, just across the board. So if you bought the original, you have Treasure Trove. Go check it out.
That reward for you believed in us first kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
So then I finished the King of Cards campaign, which is another side scroller, run and jump sort of thing. But they've also built this card game mechanic into it, which has a lot in common with the Final Fantasy VIII card game, which I forget what it's called now, it escapes my mind, but it was so much fun. That was my favorite part of Final Fantasy VIII. And this game is very reminiscent of that, and there's a lot of collecting and trading and everything like that. And
I would try to help you, but I don't know what that game is called. I've never played any Final Fantasy game in my life.
Okay, so the game, I just remembered, it's called Triple Triad. That was the name of the card game in there. And I was addicted to that, just that alone. And it was so much fun. It was good to kind of reminisce with that within Shovel Knight. So anyway, I can't recommend this game enough. There's so much content there. It goes on sale all the time. It's on every platform, including the Switch. They put it out for the Switch as well. Depending on what you buy it, or rather where you buy it, what am I saying? Depending on where you buy the game.
I just tried to Google the game, and I clicked on the wrong thing on Google and just Googled Shovelhead Shark.
It's quite different.
I Googled the wrong thing. I'm glad it didn't end up being dirty. These sharks look cool. Anyway, if you guys want to look up Shovelhead Sharks, that's okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to look up Shovelhead. Sorry, go ahead.
So I remember what made me play it the first time, and it's something so like ridiculous. But I read somewhere that specifically on the PlayStation version, there was a way to unlock a secret boss battle, and that boss battle was with Kratos. And so I went to see that, and yeah, he's totally in the game. So if you buy it on PlayStation, on the Sony versions, you can fight Kratos.
That's cool. Huh. Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So check that out. The other thing that I wanted to discuss was after all the Christmas presents were purchased, after all the Christmas presents were opened, just to make sure I didn't get something for myself that someone already got me, I went ahead and I finally bit the bullet and I got the PlayStation VR.
Oh, yeah. How is that?
Yeah. And I don't think I've talked to you about this like at all.
No,
but,
no. We took a break. Like, we've talked to each other since the holiday, but we also just took a break from even talking, like, knowing that we would come back and have a more pleasant experience of like, hey, we're back, you know? So, no, you didn't tell me about this at all.
Okay.
I knew you got the Star Wars game, but I didn't know you got this.
Right. So, the PlayStation VR, I had my doubts. It's a lot of fun. I gotta tell you. It's so much fun.
Is this the one with the sex toys that you like move around to?
You got to get out of my head because that's I was getting to that later. But I'll tell you this: I got the Move controllers today. Like I hadn't bought them originally, but I got them today, and we took them out of the box, and it's like, why is the tip? Because I didn't expect the tip to be squishy.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is straight up like a vibrator.
Yeah, no,
it's pretty much.
The original name for the Move controller were the Swerve. So, like, it, it was right. Like, they just
the PlayStation Swerve.
Swerve. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I've been interested in those, but not on a I want to buy it level, but like if we lived in the same city, I'd be like, Matt, can I come over and play this game? Like, that kind of thing. I've never bought them, though.
I want to reiterate, like, you don't need those to play VR stuff. Like, there are certain games where they do recommend that you use them.
It's just like another type of experience.
Exactly. So, the PlayStation VR set that I got came with the VR helmet. It came with the camera. You do need the camera. And it came with 5 games that you could download.
Oh, that's cool.
One of which I already had. Now, see, here's the downside to it. So, this is nitpicky, but with this set in particular, they came with 5 downloadable games, but it only had 1 code to download all 5 games. I already had Resident Evil 7, so I didn't need that one. But, download it anyway. I couldn't give it
that away, yeah.
So they probably anticipated that.
Damn
especially
it. I would have used that too.
Right.
Son of a bitch.
So, it came with Resident Evil 7, Everybody Golf, this Astrobot game, some type of like PlayStation demo or something like that I haven't messed around with too much. And did I say Skyrim already?
No.
Skyrim.
It came with Skyrim? Holy shit.
The whole Skyrim is in there.
That is legit. How much was this pack? Like,
I think it was like, I forget how much it was. It wasn't that crazy. And it was at Best Buy that I got it. So
curious.
I had,
yeah.
So it was a pretty cool experience. Like I played around with, most of the games at this point. Of course I got stuck on Skyrim because that's my jam.
Right.
Now,
that on the VR.
The downside to Skyrim is the fact that that's the one and only game that I actually got motion sickness with. Strangely enough. And it's just because I'm so used to, being able to control the camera in a certain way.
This bundle that you're referring to, on Best Buy right now, it's not on sale. So it's $300.
Okay, yeah, I didn't pay that.
No, I know you didn't. That's why I said it's not it's not on sale. Like, you got a deal on it probably because of holiday stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, that's the price of a new PlayStation, like a 1 terabyte PlayStation. So it's an investment. Like,
absolutely.
You can find stuff like that on sale if you keep your eye out, you know.
Yeah. And it came with a lot of different, a lot of different games to try out. There was a couple of games that I had my eye on too that were on sale during the big holiday sale. Of course, they have a Batman Arkham VR that I'm going to play around with. That was on sale for like $5, so I checked that out. I got that. I picked that up. Actually, a couple of games that I'd already had were VR capable already that I wasn't aware of. One of them being the Wipeout collection that was free with PlayStation Plus membership. I got that months ago. And that's like first person Wipeout, and you're in the cockpit of the car, and because it's got the motion tracking, you're looking around and you can see everything going on around you.
That's cool.
And yeah, you're going like hundreds of miles per hour, and you would think that would give me motion sickness. No, Skyrim, because I'm like moving around.
It's too much. Yeah.
It's just too much. I'm like, oh my God, I can see over here. I can see what this guy's doing while I'm about to get my head chopped off. Oh my God, it's crazy.
I'm definitely going to be investing in PlayStation Plus again this year.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a real good idea.
Well, I want to be able to play online with you. And I just played Overcooked with my friends.
I'm so glad that you played this game, because that's legit one of my other favorite games too.
It was so fun, and I know that I'm not going to enjoy playing it alone. Like, they were explaining to me how single player works, and I'm like, no. But I want to play this game, so I'm like, wait a second, does Matt know about it? So I messaged you. I'm like, hey, do you know about this game? And if so, would you and Dee be willing to play online with me? Cool. So yeah, that's gonna end up happening. Like, both of those things.
You gotta tell them what I said in response to when you asked them.
Yeah. You said this game almost led to our divorce, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
This game is intense. It's so fun, but you know how heated it can get.
Oh, but we were doing 3-player, and we were We were going, okay, you're on chopping. You're on cooking the burgers. You're on assembling the burgers. Like, we had a whole system going on. It was cool.
So you were playing the first Overcooked, right?
Yes, we played the first one. I know the second one's supposed to be better. I don't think we can play the first one online.
I don't know. We can check it out though. But just to give people an idea. So Overcooked basically is, you're in this expansive fantasy kitchen. It's all top down, and you're tasked with making certain dishes, for restaurant customers, and you're a chef. So you and, your friend or several friends are tasked with preparing different parts of these dishes as the orders come up on the top of the screen. And it's all about getting it done fast, so you get a good tip. And you don't want to piss off the customer so they don't walk off. There have been many games like this for mobile over the years, like Diner Dash and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
it reminded me of the Stitch sandwich maker back in the old school.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's a lot like that, but it's, definitely geared towards a multiplayer experience. I've tried to do the single player before, where you control 2 chefs on your own, and it's hard.
It sounds awful.
Yeah,
I just don't want to do it.
It didn't click with me until Dee and I started playing it together, and like you said, we were strategizing and like, okay, all right, you get on the deep fryer, I'll be over here with the chopping,
Yeah.
And what's cool about the second one is, of course there's more levels and more dishes you can make and stuff like that, but you can throw stuff now.
Yes.
So if there's like a large expanse between you and the other chef, you can just chuck it over there, you know, and give it to him. So that's cool.
I'm curious if we can play 1 online, but I know 2 is supposed to be really cool as well. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I was immediately like, I want to play more of this. Like, and I'll play with them, but I was also like, I want to play with Matt. I want to play.
Yeah, totally. No, we're gonna play
probably
this.
Connor
it's
too.
so
I'll probably
fun.
bring Connor into that.
That's cool. You know what?
You're listening. We might play Overcooked with you.
We're pulling you in. We're recruiting you, buddy.
We're one kicking with on, and we'll play Overcooked.
I think 4 players is probably the ideal number of chefs you should have, you know, because it just gets overwhelming after a while.
Yeah. 3, you manage 3 pretty well.
Okay. I've only ever played with D, so yeah, I'm kind of bossy when it comes to the kitchen stuff. I'm just gonna warn you now. So that's what happens. So.
All right. We'll see if we get divorced. Who gets the sweet jelly babies when mom and dad split?
I mean, it works for them because then they get 2 different podcasts. So
that's true.
Right, you know, 2 Christmases.
It's better to get 2 of them.
2 whole
birthday
Christmases.
Parties, everything.
That's right.
Separate.
You know, and we keep trying to one up each other so they like us more. See?
I'll take you to the zoo, and then he'll take you to Six Flags, and then we'll just fight about the fact that he was late bringing you back from Six Flags. Again? Matthew.
Oh, don't use my whole Christian name now. Come on now. So PSVR, lots of fun. If you can swing it, I highly recommend it. Make a friend who has one. Go visit them. It's really the best entry level virtual gaming that you can do. And there are more games coming out for it this year too. I've heard great things about an Iron Man VR game that they have exclusive to the PlayStation VR. Tetris Effect. I didn't even get a chance to talk about that. That's in VR. And holy shit, you don't think you need Tetris in VR, but you do, because Tetris Effect is dope. And I didn't even get a chance to talk about the audio. Like when you put on the headphones, it's like you can hear it all around you and the whooshing and everything. It's great.
Now, the only time I've tried VR was like a display at a Best Buy type of thing, and it was I think it was Oculus or whatever. But it was a game. And I hated it, man. It freaked me out. It wasn't nausea. It was like, it was a little bit of dizziness, but it was just like, I couldn't deal with it.
Kind of overwhelming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was, my brain was going, this is not natural. You can't be in this. This is bad. Run away. Like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the guy was very worried that, you know, I was going to fall or something because people have fallen. Mm-hmm. Like they lose sense of reality or something like that, and they just fall. So he was like, I'm not going to touch you, but I'm going to keep my hand kind of behind your back area, like. And he was cool. Like he was just like, yeah, like I don't touch anyone. I'm just careful to, like, in case you lean back and fall back looking up or something like that. I need, I want to make sure you're okay. And I was like, okay, cool.
Okay, sure thing, creep. I don't touch anyone.
He did not touch me at all. No touching. No, he was fine. He handled it very well. Especially considering, like, that's a super awkward position to be in, especially male female dynamic.
Yeah.
No, he was fine. Like, whoever that dude was, he did a good job. But yeah, it freaked me out a lot. So I'd be curious to see if I like it. I would never buy it for that reason.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I can't see myself completing Skyrim in VR because, I've played it a few times and I already know how it goes. But, yeah, it's a lot. Like, I don't need to be in that world. Like, the coolest thing about the Skyrim experience was that wherever you're looking and you go into the menu, that's where it generates.
That's awesome.
So if there's a pole in the way, it's going to generate behind that pole. And it's like, oh shit, I can't see what this item is called. Because there's a pole blocking my view. Like, I'm actually there. So yeah, it's weird. It's really weird, but kudos to them for putting the whole fucking game in VR like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. I wonder how long that took them.
I mean, that's all they do now anyway. So shit.
That's fair. I mean, yeah.
They're not working on Fallout, that's for sure.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wanted Fallout 76 to be good. I like Fallout. I like Bethesda. I like what they do when they try. Yeah,
they need to innovate a little bit more.
Yeah, when they cash in, that's the problem. People give Valve shit for not putting out Half-Life games all the time and not putting out Half-Life 3, and I get it. I want Half-Life 3 as well. However, I don't want a shitty Half-Life.
Yeah.
So
Half-Life 3 is never going to happen. Get over
no.
Like, just stop.
No. But you heard about Half-Life Alyx, right? Like the new one they're doing?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So this was announced recently, after years and years and years, of course. Half-Life Alyx is going to be their way of getting people invested in the new Oculus. So it's a VR game, and it's VR only. So you need an Oculus to play it. Now, what they have said is that they're open to the idea of maybe reestablishing that relationship with Sony like they had with Portal 2, where you could like access Steam on your PlayStation, which really didn't go anywhere. But if they do decide to explore that relationship with Sony again, we could see that on the PSVR at some point. And I hope that does happen.
I think it'd be foolish not to.
Yeah. I mean, I think they want to keep it exclusive for now, just to sell the Oculus a little bit better, a little bit more. But yeah.
Well, I'd never fuck around with Oculus just on the Facebook part alone. Like, don't give them any money.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, is that what it is? Oculus and Valve? Is that what their thing is too? Are they part of that whole debacle, or am I misrepresenting
Facebook bought
this?
Oculus.
Right. So what's Steam's thing? They have something else then.
I don't know.
Right? Okay.
I don't know about that.
For the people that know, let us know.
Yeah, right. Someone explain it.
We'll just call it Steam VR just to streamline things.
Yeah.
So basically, it's expensive. A lot of people can't afford that, even at the entry level. A lot of folks can't afford the PSVR. It's like you said, buying a new console, basically.
Right.
It's either that or a Switch. And, I mean, people are going to go with the Switch because it's something they know.
Absolutely. So, I mean, the Switch is amazing.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That's what I'd recommend.
Even these Move controllers that I got with it are an additional cost. They cost, out of the box, or just brand new, they cost $100.
That's ridiculous.
For a set of two. It's been that price since they were released, basically. This is old, and this is technology that's been around since PS3. It's frustrating. And so I had to find like an open box deal on Best Buy in order to get these. I'm like, I'm not paying full price for this. This is crazy, especially for something that I don't know if I'm going to like or not. And, the jury's still out on that. I'll give updates on the next episode or something.
You know what's cheaper? Buying a vibrator and having an imagination.
Yes.
And
you're right about that.
Arguably way more fun. So...
Well, probably, yes.
Depends on who you are.
Depends on who you are.
I said what I said.
I mean, yeah. But at least I can return these if I don't like it. I don't think you can return the other thing if it's been used. So. Nobody's
returning. No, never mind.
I mean, some people have a collection of them because they have ones that they like, have ones that they don't, but you gotta try.
We are moving on.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is, that's kind of all weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit given what we literally just discussed, joked about, there's a couple things on here that I don't want to get to yet. So let's talk about Black Lady Sketch Show.
Yeah, tell me about Black Lady Sketch Show. And then we'll do Wall of Weird.
Yeah, Black Lady Sketch Show. It's on HBO. I found it because I was watching Watchmen.
Yeah.
The series, because I was doing a thing on NPR for like the best TV of the year, and I wanted to see Watchmen because I knew it would be discussed and I didn't want to be spoiled because I'd heard enough about it to know that I wanted to see it. So I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to do the HBO subscription for a month. Watch Watchmen. Get rid of that. So during Watchmen, how they have the ads before.
Yeah.
Of course, they promoted Curb Your Enthusiasm is coming back and all kind of other stuff. But they also advertised Black Lady Sketch Show. And I'm like, okay, this looks really funny. And it's 6 episodes just for the first season. And it is fucking amazing. It's a sketch show. It's called Black Lady Sketch Show, of course. So it's black women as the main cast. And the entire cast, from top to bottom, black people. Nothing but. I love it. And it's great. Just Yeah, I mean, we're talking like Yvette Nicole Brown makes a cameo in there. David Alan Grier makes a cameo. Just black royalty, basically, in the comedic world. It's great. I love it. Every moment of this show was hilarious.
I've heard great things.
Give it up. Yeah, you got to give it up for Robin Thede. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. I've never actually.
Thede? Robin Thede.
Yeah. Now you may remember her from the Nightly Show. She was on there quite a bit. She was great on there. Quinta Brunson is hilarious.
She had her own talk show too for a brief period of time there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. And I'm kind of like bearing the lead here. It was it was produced by Issa Rae's production company.
Yeah, man, she's putting out such great content.
Absolutely, and she actually makes a guest spot on there as well. But check it out. Some of their stuff is on YouTube right now. Any sketch on that show I can highly recommend. It's just all good. It's all funny, and it just makes you feel good. And it's just, it's good comedy. So check out Black Lady Sketch Show.
I mean, I love sketch comedy, so I need to get into it for sure.
Yeah, this is good stuff. And the only downside is it's only 6 episodes long. That's the only downside.
I'm sure they're going to make more though. Like I heard so much about that show that I feel like it was a successful venture for them.
Absolutely. It's been, I think, it's already been confirmed for a second season. So we're going to see more of them. Yeah. I can't wait. So Black Lady Sketch Show is good. I mentioned Watchmen. Watchmen is great. That was on a lot of top TV lists, but I'm going to add my voice to that. As somebody who didn't like the movie or the book, the TV show is actually pretty dope.
Okay, that's good to know because I did not like the movie and I did not like the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I must have forgotten about that because I know I'm always like banging that drum, the book's garbage. And I don't know why everybody praises it. It's written by an out of touch white man. Who cares? I don't know. But this is like. No,
I'm pretty much on the same page with you in here.
Yeah. This is like flies in the face of the book. This is why this bullshit wouldn't work. And
so it's interesting outside of that. I don't have to revisit any of that because I don't want to.
It's interesting on its own, but it also flies in the face of a lot of stuff that they tried to establish in the book too. Like, all right, that was dumb, and here's why. Let me break it down for you. Let's just And then of course Regina King is starring in the show, and she's always great. And it's like got kind of that Leftovers vibe too. So
those were the magic words. Seriously?
Yep. Yeah. Lindelof is the showrunner as well. So yes.
Okay. Yep. All right. You're selling me. My lost Leftovers love. That sounded very weird. Awesome title. That is a huge selling point for me because as we have discussed, we definitely discussed Lost. I don't know if we discussed The Leftovers.
We have. We talked about it a little bit.
We've talked about it, but I don't remember if we talked about it on the show. That's the part.
I think early on we talked about it, and I was because that's probably when we first started discussing your
TV shows.
Yeah, well, just like your love of Lost. I think that's how it came up because I was like, Leftovers is great, and it actually had an ending, and then we got in that whole conversation.
Yeah, which we are not having again. But love both of those shows. Stand by both of those shows. So
good shit.
All right, you want to get into the Wall of Weird?
Sure.
Is there anything else? That the top thing we'll discuss in the mini this week. Oh, and we can just tease that. We are going to talk about Star Wars. We know you want to hear about Star Wars and our thoughts on the Star Wars.
Yes.
The Wars of the Stars.
Indeed.
That is so. We want to be mindful of spoilers and everything like that. So we're kind of going to either put a discussion like that at the very end of the show now, so that you can stop. Without missing any other content within the show and then come back to it later. So we'll be if we were going to talk about Rise of Skywalker right now, for example, which we're not, but we would just say, okay, here's Rise of Skywalker. You've listened to the whole episode at this point. You come back to it after you've seen the movie or The Mandalorian or whatever.
We've been listening to your feedback, folks,
yes.
and we appreciate you telling us what you want.
Yeah, I don't want people to miss out on our show because they haven't caught up on, The Mandalorian or whatever. Like, we need to fracture or whatever, break up the show into sections. So we decided we want to talk about Skywalker, but we're going to use that as our mini episode this week. The Patreon exclusive mini. If you go on patreon.com/LexandMatt, you can get exclusive episodes. We have a back catalog now. Don't remember how many episodes, but however long we've been doing it. We do two a month, guaranteed.
That's right.
And then there's stickers and all kinds of cool things you can get. So if you want to hear our thoughts on that, that's where you go for that thing.
I will wash your car. I will babysit your kids.
I'm not doing. What are you talking about? We're not doing any of that. Absolutely not.
For money, I'll do it. You just tell me when to show up.
Yeah, no. I don't have a lot of money, so. Like $90 for a decal to park my car on campus. Damn it.
I'm saying.
I know.
That's $90. If you give me $90, I'll drive your car around the block while you're in class. I'll tell you right now.
God.
I will teach you how to survive prison for $90.
I feel like you need to go higher up for that one. Okay.
We can make that the $1,000 tier. I don't know. Ask Lori McLaughlin.
Yeah. How are we?
Yeah. I put holla at your boy.
What if we did have a tier that was just? We already have a joke tier, but if we didn't have a joke tier, I would be like, let's lessons for going to prison.
We don't have
the two softest fuckers in the world.
I will absolutely slap somebody in the face if they give me $5,000 because it's not worth $5,000 to get slapped in the face, and I'm gonna slap you based on that principle alone.
Yeah,
you deserve to get slapped. You gonna get slapped.
Yeah.
$5,000 in my hand.
Yeah. Well, the check's got to clear.
It's got to clear. PayPal shit.
Yeah. So go on our Patreon. Look at all of the cool things you can get on Patreon. We also have other neat things that we give, like playlists on Spotify and things of that nature. So
yeah, actually I have a very gentle taste in music opposed to me threatening to slap you in the face moments ago. Don't be fooled by that. All right. I actually
do a lot of Iron and Wine.
I am so gentle.
Yeah.
Like Cottonelle, like the Bears with the toilet paper, just like that.
I think those are two different brands, but okay.
Charmin?
Yeah, Charmin.
Yeah. Anywho, let's do Wall of Weird.
Wall of Weird. We're getting into Wall of
Weird.
All right. Yes. This isn't technically in Wall of Weird, but I am convinced that Kevin Spacey is killing all of his accusers.
Let's talk about Kevin Spacey. So, were you ever into House of Cards during its heyday?
I loved House of Cards.
I did too.
I didn't finish it because of all of that shit.
Yeah, same. Because it got weird. Like, it got weird to watch it. Not like it was like, oh, the storylines are out there. Because, House of Cards had two things going against it. First, the less immediate thing was the fact that our real world cartoon president was acting like a fool. And
once that became a reality, watching a dark political show was not fun.
Not fun anymore, right?
Yeah.
The second thing was we found out that Kevin Spacey was a molester and an asshole. Yeah. And it became less fun to watch because you don't want to watch motherfucking like sexual predator pretend and then.
Right.
Yeah,
he's been doing like the Frank Underwood style videos since.
Yeah.
So that's what's weird about this story is that Ari Ben, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, this Norwegian author who accused Kevin Spacey, died at 47.
Right.
And they're saying died by suicide. I'm not buying it because this is I believe now it's the third accuser to die.
Yeah, because there was the masseuse.
Yes.
Who was anonymous.
Yes.
That died, and we don't know why or how that happened.
Yeah.
The person that you just mentioned that committed suicide, and then there was somebody else as well. But Yeah, putting all that together and considering that he's basically
he made that video the day before this man apparently died by suicide.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it, man. I think he's involved. I'm like, why is this not being investigated as murder?
Like, I'll even go a step like a little closer and just say he may be including coded messages, coded phrasing in these videos that is
like execute the plan.
No, not like that shit. But just like saying like he's saying things that would knowingly embarrass the party that's going to be testifying and caused him to take his own life. Like,
yeah, to re-traumatize them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know somebody that.
Yeah.
Somebody that did something as awful as Kevin Spacey allegedly has done.
Yeah.
And then you have to see him on a video.
Yeah.
Hamming it up and referencing things that only you and he know about and are going to come to see the light of day fairly soon once you testify. That's some scary shit.
And like they're all dropping like flies. Like he's getting off the hook. And he immediately filed like right after these guys have died. And it's like, all right, you got to throw this out now. Like and I was reading about that. I don't know if it's in this Hollywood Reporter article. But it is kind of the standard, for lack of a better word, of respect to wait a certain amount of time. I think that was in a different article. There's a certain amount of time that is like kind of like this is you give it a week or whatever it may be, and you do file that because like that is your right and it's smart to do that, everything. But you don't do that immediately because then the families have to deal with that legals thing in addition to their loved one dying. So he completely was just like further spitting in their face kind of thing. It's really bad.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
I'm not a conspiracy person. This is too weird to me.
Right.
If a story comes out tomorrow that says he hired hitmen or did something specifically to these people, I would not be shocked at all.
Man. I mean, how crazy is that? And like just at the tail end of the year too.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that's kind of the part that bothers me too, is I'm like, yeah, he picked like the holidays and you have suicide rates go up and everything like that. I'm just like, I'm not buying it, Frank Underwood. You fucking pushed in front of that bus, bitch. I'm not buying it.
Let's separate, as all the fucking whatabouters say, let's separate the man from the art, right? So let's just it's some weird alternate reality where that's actually fucking possible. Let's separate the man from the art. So besides the sexual assault allegations that are against him right now.
Yes.
Why the fuck is he putting out videos as a character?
I don't know.
From a show that he got fired from.
It's insane. Like
it is. And it's not really, even just like
really creepy.
It's not even like, okay, one, he's not getting paid for this.
No.
Two, it's been so long removed since he's been gone from that show. Three, the show doesn't even exist anymore. What possible like benefit does this have to Kevin Spacey's career?
Back. Like, I think he still wants to do more House of Cards. Which doesn't make any sense, but like that's the only explanation I can think of.
Yeah.
Or maybe he has just lost his mind and he thinks he's Frank Underwood now.
I mean, shit. I know there's like, character acting, but man, that wasn't even like that deep of a role for him. Given his prior, acting and everything. That's so fucking weird, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of look at him now and you see all of the roles that he's played and all the things he's done and you're like, yeah, that tracks. Like something is always wrong with you. That like because if you've ever, I want to say he was in that like they start to show shitty behavior or something like that, and then you look back and you're like, oh, that was a red flag. Oh, like that freaks you out.
I mean, do you remember? All right, so going back to when he was in American Beauty.
Yeah.
And he got like Best Actor.
Right.
I think he won like the Oscar for that or whatever.
Yeah, I think he did.
And he started his acceptance speech by saying a line from the character. He goes, "This is the best part of my day."
Right.
You know, which was talking about the character when he was like waking up and masturbating or whatever.
Right.
What a weird fucking flex that was. But back then it was like, oh, that's just a Hollywood eccentric, you know.
Well, he's referencing the thing that he's winning it for. So like you can excuse it then.
Yeah.
And find a reason for it. And then you look back and you're like, God, that's weird, man.
What it really does make you consider like other celebrities and looking at them through a microscope as well. And it's none of our business until it is our business, unfortunately, you know. Like, I'm worried about Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you watched the Golden Globes. And we don't have to
I watched the Golden Globes.
But him and who did they put back to back? It was Joaquin won and then woman that won.
Fucking Renee Zellweger.
Oh my God. Them back to back.
Yeah.
It was insane. What were they talking about?
I don't know, man. Like, Joaquin Phoenix, it felt like he's doing character study for Mitch Hedberg. He's just kind of like awkward and everything in his own skin. Yeah. It was a weird. I was going to say performance.
I'm concerned they're going to give him that Oscar for this movie, and I don't think that should happen. But I haven't even seen it yet. I'm still like, ugh, whatever.
I kind of want them to give him the Oscar for it because I just want him to be okay. Like I don't want anything crazy to happen to Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's an all right guy. I just think he's a little eccentric. I hope he's okay. I hope there's nothing that he's got hiding in his closet that we don't know about. I don't want to be like, you know, is he nuts? I don't know. I really just,
I think we probably would have heard it by now. That's how I feel about a lot of this, but I don't know. Like that's not necessarily true because it's really scary to come forward. So no, that doesn't mean it. Like, you know, I don't.
I mean, Kevin Spacey, point, you know, just the point right there.
Right. But that happened as these other stories were breaking and everything was happening. Whereas Joaquin Phoenix is in a, like, reporters are actively talking about this and open about this. Like, there were these like hints on Twitter, and I think that this story is still brewing about Jeff Goldblum being like a predator.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to break at some point soon. But like, when they make movies or whatever, when they start to come out and do things, and then they're doing these interviews and they're talking shit, and Joaquin Phoenix has not necessarily been talking shit, but he's doing interviews. He's got a lot of press going on right now.
Yeah.
And he's been through the microscope, and that's probably why he's cracking a bit. But because he's under that microscope, this is the time when those types of stories would break. So I would imagine it would already have broken, or it's going to break very soon. I don't know. That's just my guess. But I could be wrong. It could be, 2 years from now we learn something about him. At this point, I'm only holding out hope on Tom Hanks that he's clean. Well, no one.
The only skeleton that Tom Hanks has in his closet is Chet Hayes. That weird kid of his. Oh, fuck.
A video of him, whatever.
Oh yeah,
rapping.
Speaking patois. Like we were joking around, like, oh no, Chet's there.
We were.
Because so Chet Hayes is.
Who let you out of the basement, Chet? Who let you out?
That's Tom Hanks's other son, who has a burgeoning rap career, in the same way that Kevin Federline has a rap career. Basically, he's a celebrity adjacent that wants to be something else. And that's fine if you're a carpenter or a plumber or something like that. That's cool. But you're Tom Hanks's son, and you want to get into entertainment. People are gonna ask you about your dad, and they're gonna make comparisons. And this whole Chet Hayes persona he has, it's kind of weird. I hope it's just a persona. But basically, he appropriates black culture a little bit, tries to get that swagger, and I guess he raps. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he just acts weird. He acts weird.
Like, I just ignore him, and I'm like, Colin is the only one. And then the daughter that, like, you never hear about the daughter, so.
Right. You know, because she's just, you know,
living
an everyday sort of person. That's fine. Let her be. Just let her be. Anyway, enough about the celebs. Let's dig into the Wall of Weird proper.
Yeah, do you want to do this story that you brought in from ABC7 Chicago?
Sure thing. So, what better way to kick off the new year than to talk about a man frozen in time? Cat? So, note says, wife didn't kill man found in Utah freezer. In a place called, I believe, Tooele, Utah, Tooele, Tooele, Utah.
I would think it's Tooele, but I don't know.
Tooele with you. Tooele, Utah. Detectives have found a notarized letter they believe was written by a man whose body had been in a freezer in a Utah apartment for a decade that says his wife did not kill him, authorities said. The note discovered Monday appears... Now, this is printed in December. The note discovered Monday appears to have been written by Paul Edward Mathers, 69 years old, whose body was found inside a freezer last month after police found his wife dead of natural causes in the apartment in the small city of Tooele, near Salt Lake City. But handwriting experts have not verified Mathers' signature, and the woman who notarized the letter, dated September 2008, told police she did not read it before stamping and signing it. Tooele Police Sergeant Jeremy Hansen said.
Now, are they supposed to read it? Is that like a violation, or does it not matter?
I mean, if it's just a note that was like taped to the dude's chest, then there's kind of no way not to read it. I don't know.
Yeah. I know. I was just curious if you knew, but it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay. Investigators are looking into the possibility that the couple devised the scheme together before he died, or that the woman forged the letter, but they are waiting on evidence that includes medical and financial records, Hansen said. Additional contents of the letter have not yet been released. That's some mysterious shit.
Yeah.
So either she killed this guy and decided to put him in the freezer and make it seem like it was his last, request to be frozen, or they were on some freezing the body until modern medicine can figure out how to cure them sort of shit. I don't know.
Cult? Like this, that sounds like a cult thing too.
Could be a cult thing.
Is this the origins of Cult of the Adventurers on this show? Is this how we go? Is this how we all go?
This sounds like another level in Axiom or Nexium that we haven't heard about yet. Yeah, 2008. That's about right. Yeah, that lines up.
Oh, ice, chili babies.
Ice, chili babies. Yes, you were just waiting to get to that. Oh, God bless you. All right, so yeah, that's my Wall of Weird. What you got, Lutz?
Kevin Spacey. I'm gonna hold on to this NPR one for next time.
Okay.
I'm gonna tease you guys about this. That there's more weird horse stuff.
For all your equestrians out there, we gotta
work.
Stuff.
We gotta go work on our mini episode, which
will
be available exclusively on Patreon.
That's right. It's coming up. So, hey, I'm not used to talking this much anymore. I gotta rest in my throat a little bit before we jump back on. Thank you guys so much for coming back. We're so glad that you returned. Of course, we appreciate all of the Sweet Chili Babies. We appreciate the adventurers. We appreciate our patrons who make sure that we continue to do this. Today is the 1 year anniversary of when we posted the first episode of Lex and Matt's Excellent Adventures. Some of you have been down since day one. Some of you have discovered us along the way, but each and every one of you is the reason why we keep doing this. And we just appreciate you so much for your encouragement.
Yeah, we love all of you. Thank you so much for sharing it. Keep sharing it with your friends. If you haven't rate, reviewed, and subscribed, please do that. That helps us a lot.
Absolutely.
If you can give to Patreon, give to Patreon. Even the $1 tier, you can get into a Facebook group that we have. So
right.
It means a lot. It's very cool.
If you want to grab one of our t-shirts, we still got those up. Saw a couple of adventurers rocking the, thanks for shopping, tees that we put out. Yeah. So that was very cool to see. Thank you guys so much. They look great on you.
And then totally send us pics like that. That was very fun to see. Very weird. Yeah. Very fun.
Weird for us, not weird on you.
No. Yeah, no, it's not that. It's just weird to know that someone like has your name like on a shirt, just walking around. It's pretty cool.
Just walking around.
Yeah.
Well, they're not flying that I know of, but who knows? They could be flying.
I would say vacations are a thing.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for listening. We're going to hop on that mini, like Lex was saying. Go over to Patreon, Struke it out. Follow us on all the socials at Lex and Matt.
Yeah. That's all. Bedeep, folks. I don't know what. Listening. Is that our new sign off? Is that it? No.
That's the one.
Yeah,
I'm Matt Peters.
And I'm Lex Lutz, and be excellent to each other.